Hello and welcome to the 2025 GVA Wind Festival. We are here on the shores of beautiful Lake Geneva. My name is Sandy and I'm joined here in the booth by Greta Marchega.
Thank you so much, Sandy. Very stoked to be back here with you in the office and to be here at the beautiful shores of Lake Geneva.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a pretty good office. And we are here for the final of the World Series of the Tow-In and the European Championships of the Foilstyle discipline. So lots and lots of exciting action so far. I mean, this is day 2. So yesterday was all about kind of getting the riders, out registering, getting out on the water maybe, but, it was very light, and getting out on the water here means something very, very different to what it usually does, right? It's not necessarily rigging your small sails and getting out in the wind. It's all about getting behind that winch and getting some of those practice runs in, and that's exactly what they did yesterday. But you missed it, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, yesterday I wasn't here yet, but now I'm here, so better late than ever, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And what did you do yesterday, actually, Sandy?
Well, lucky you should say that. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from yesterday's action. Welcome to the 2025 GVA Wind Festival here on the beautiful shores of Lake Geneva. We are here at Tropical Corner for the European Championships of the Foilstyle and the final of the World Series for the Tow-In. It is great vibes here at Tropical Corner. We've got a skate ramp. There's all sorts of things here going on and off the water for the whole week. Today was all about letting the riders get a couple of practice rounds in behind the winch, and some of the standouts were Yentl Cares with some incredible triple air rotations, and then of course Tigo Court, one of the young Brousdam up and coming riders, going all the way around a double air culo and stomping all of his other moves.
I mean, it's the first day, you always need to get the feeling again with the wave and the speed, but in the end it was perfect. The water was like glassy, and there was no wind, so that's the best you can get.
Now, everything turns to the Foilstyle forecast for tomorrow, where hopefully we will be able to bring some amazing action.
Wow, that looked like an incredible first, very exciting day. I mean, as you already mentioned, it was about registration and getting used to it again, getting into the mood. But today we're already at day number 2, and actually the focus is on Foilstyle.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's another discipline, still kind of new, much newer than the Tow-In, I would say.
For sure.
The Foilstyle, I was chatting to some of the riders today, and actually it was only 3 years ago, really, that it started. And I remember the first Foilstyle event for me commentating was 2023 in Viesta.
Exactly,
in
and
Italy.
We witnessed actually also the first victory of Yentl Cares back in the days.
Exactly. And I remember at the time there, he was doing the Pascos and those rotations, and that was completely new. We were like, he might as well not have a foil under his board. He's just windsurfing normally. And that was the moment, I think that event was when we were like, oh, there's something here.
Yes.
And then to have the conversation that we had with the judges and the skippers meeting and stuff yesterday, it's gone even further now. With like the Muller brothers and even Yentl's level, and, Stephen as well. Stephen doing like he's doing like Kabakuchis now and things like that. Like, it's just another one of those things that we've seen in windsurfing. It's just like innovation first. I know that's so corny to say, but it is so true. And that's what it's such a nice thing. Windsurfing is it's kind of the granddad of the wind sports. It's the older sport.
The goat.
Yeah, but things like Foilstyle coming in, I think, is really helping keep it young and keep it fresh. And at the end of the day, kids want to see tricks, right?
Absolutely, agree. I mean, it's been very interesting to talk to the riders today also, because we actually are part of this kind of evolution, as you just mentioned, and actually we've been part of windsurfing history.
Yeah.
We saw the first Foilstyle champion being crowned, but then we also saw the whole evolution during the past 3 years, and as you say, just rising the bar and pushing the sport further. And this is in the end what really matters and what we're all here for.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of the riders, I think you earlier today you went for a pit walk, we like to call it.
Exactly.
All the riders were rigging, getting their gear ready. We had quite an early start today because we were hopeful for that wind. And yeah,
for the famous Biesenwald winds.
Exactly, and you got a chance to chat to them. So let's see what the riders were saying about the Foilstyle.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day number 2 here at beautiful Geneva. Today the sun is a little bit missing out, but fingers crossed for some wind coming through later. And in the meantime, the riders are getting ready, getting the gear prepared, stickers on, getting ready for Foilstyle. So let's have a look around who we can catch up with. Oh, I can spot some very nice faces. Dudule, good morning. How are you doing? So Dudu, what's up today? You're getting ready your Foilstyle gear.
Yes, the biggest setup I have here. So it's like the big front wing and the big sail. So very exciting. It's first time here in Geneva. So let's see. I hope it will work for me, this one.
Definitely. So have you been training Foilstyle a lot during this summer?
Yes, this year I had the first chance to really push it already from last summer and this summer. And actually where I live, it's have many days of foiling conditions. So it's actually open for me like a full new world of windsurfing almost every day. And I love it. It's such a good action and so much fun. And actually it's give me exactly what I need for being in the water enough for keep pushing the sport.
Amazing. You couldn't have said it more beautifully. All the best, Dudu, and see you later on the water then. So we move forward. Let's see who we can catch up with. One of our youngest riders here. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing good.
So you have been here in Geneva already last year, right? How is it for you to be back?
It's super cool. I always love the scene here. It's a super cool setup with a lot of activities to do also off the water. And of course, a nice lake with everything you want on the water. Foil style, tow-in, pump foiling. I really love it.
Amazing. One happy lander. Thank you so much and good luck. See you later.
Thanks. See you later.
All right, let's move on. Let's see who we can see next. Oh, I can spot Sam. Sam, it's amazing to see you back in Geneva. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here as well.
So Sam, this has actually been always one of your most favorite places. First of all, for your incredible results for Towin and the big show. And yeah, today we're focusing on Foilstyle. Have you been training a lot Foilstyle during this summer?
Definitely not so much. But here is a really famous place for the Foilstyle. So I keep rigging all my sails and I hope to do my best and yeah, enjoy.
Looking forward to see some insanity from you. Good luck. Ciao. All right, let's see who we can catch up next. Oh, I can spot another very famous face in here. Good morning, Leonard. How are you doing?
Morning. Good, good. Had some good sleep. Ready to kick it off.
Amazing. So, Leonard, you're still the reigning Foilstyle champion. How hungry are you for the 2025 title?
Yeah, I'm very hungry. Of course, we have Balls and Jack here this year, and yeah, with the forecast that we might actually get some wind, it's going to be very scary.
We're very looking forward to see some close battles because this is what the audience want and this is what we want. And yeah, I wish you all the best and have a great one.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, so the riders are getting ready and stay tuned because the action is coming up very soon.
Always great to get a bit of insight from some of the riders there.
I mean, I love the chit-chatting with them, just randomly in the morning and so, what is happening here? Love that.
Yeah, it's so funny because you see it, obviously, you know, windsurfing is a kind of smaller sport, I guess, but like these are the rock stars of it.
They
within
are.
the discipline, you know, like Lennart, who you just spoke to there, you know, he was world champion last year, you know, he's been European champion, you see him, he's in the yellow jersey, like he's a Red Bull athlete and things,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
he's still like so friendly and always giving you the time and everything like that. And I think that's so nice. And it's also nice as well to see that these riders, actually all of the ones at the top of the game, they're the ones that put the time in for all the different disciplines within freestyle.
Yes.
So they're also really good at the tow-in. They're also really good at the foil style. You know, it's not, it could be so easy to be like, no, I'm only going to focus on this. But actually, the top riders are the ones that do everything.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I believe that nowadays, top rider needs to provide a lot of variety. First of all, on the water, action-wise, technique-wise, creativity-wise, style-wise. But then you need to be also a very good athlete off the water. You know, you need to be good with social media. You need to be good with the media. You need to be super friendly. I mean, this is in the end, you can see the real heroes and the real athletes, how they treat their fans, how they treat other people. And this is something very nice to see, that within our freestyle community, it's a family. You know, there's no one around who is arrogant or whatever. They're actually helping each other, pushing each other, and especially pushing a lot the younger generation.
100%. Yeah. And it just goes to show how great everyone is, because as soon as someone does show that, they tend to not come back to the events and things like that. And I think that's something that kind of tends to start with those older athletes that have been around for a long time. I hate to use the word older, but you know, it is
more
it is
mature,
true.
more
mature athletes. That's the better way of saying it. Absolutely, that's the better way of saying it. But also on the other side of it, I think a lot of it that makes it, I'm not going to big myself up here, but is also the team, the staff, especially the judging team, you know, and the work that they put in to define the formats and make sure that it's fair, and do that for all the riders. And with that being said, we got a chance to catch up with Flo Rogoznik earlier, who is the lead race director here, so you know, head judge, and kind of is helping out with all these rules. We got a chance to chat to him about the format and how the foil style is slightly different. So let's take a look at that.
All right, welcome to Geneva, day 2. Yeah, today looks good. We have a forecast for the Foilstyle, and obviously Foilstyle progressed a lot in the recent years, and there is a new format for Foilstyle as well. We're gonna try this out for the first time, this time in Geneva. And what is set is we're gonna do 4 moves in total, and the riders can decide where they do their moves, on which tack they do their moves. So they can choose, there's 1 move per tack minimum, so they can choose 3 moves on one tack and then 1 move on the other tack. A tack counts where the rider enters the move. So if the move starts on port tack, we will count it as a port tack move, even if they go for an upwind burner or a downwind burner or something like that. And yeah, that's basically it.
Great to hear from Flo there about how it all works. So as we said, you know, it really is, there's not a huge amount of difference, you know, in terms of how long the heats are, things like that. Sometimes they can be made a bit longer because obviously the wind is a bit lighter, but equally what it really is about is the moves, and whether they do it on certain tacks. You know, for example, within the foil style, sometimes you kind of do that downwind 360 carve, and then, you know, go into a burner or a duct rotation from there, whereas that, you know, sometimes is easier than if you were to go switch and then duck the sail, or if you were to go upwind into it. So chatting to some of the riders earlier, they were kind of saying, well, downwind burner is my favorite and upwind burner is my favorite. So it's crazy how the progression has gone. And actually, a discussion we had yesterday was why a lot of people aren't doing the downwind burner anymore. So it becomes a lot more about everyone's kind of going switch, or everyone's ducking the sail, or, you know, now there's air bobs and there's culos in. People are ducking it in regular. And as I said earlier, Steven van Broekhoven is kind of doing kabakuchis, and it's not going to be long until all the other riders are doing that as well. So, you know, the progression is crazy. You know, these guys have already got all the moves on the fin, so it's a lot of quicker learning curve for them to then apply it onto the foil as well. So I, for one, am super excited to see where this goes, especially when it comes to European titles, things like that. You know, who's going to be at the top of that podium, and how that's going to progress, you know, over the next couple of seasons. But actually, you guys could probably see I'm actually by myself now, because Greta has gone out. She's gone to try and find a couple of riders to have a chat with, and actually she's found 2 who are absolutely legendary within the foil style discipline, or windsurfing in general, but especially the foil style discipline. You know, I remember 12 years ago I was sat in Egypt learning to flacco and watching videos of these guys running around the Netherlands, you know, doing crazy stuff and crazy moves. And of course, it could be none other than the Muller brothers. So Bals and Jack as well. Jack the Ripper, they call him. Jack has actually come to join us as well. Bals obviously got the family in tow. So yeah, Greta is over with the 2 of them. Let's see what they have to say.
Thank you so much, Sandy. So I'm here down at the beach catching up with the infamous Müller brothers, Jakob and Bals. Jakob and Bals, they're very famous because actually they are part of being the pioneers and, let's say, some of the creative inventors also a little bit of foil style. So guys, how do you feel with this title actually?
Well, obviously it's cool being part of a revolution, being part of bringing something new alive. And yeah, I love being creative. So does Jack. I mean, and it's cool to inspire other people. That's what, for me, foil freestyle is all about.
I mean, beautifully said. Would you agree to that?
100%. I feel very lucky to be part of something, to build up something new, to explore new things and see new possibilities in this sport. And I think it's not something we have all the time in our life. Calculated pretty fast, we can also say. So yeah, here we are.
Talking again about creativity, right? But it's your point of view.
I think it actually exploded in one afternoon when we took off for the first time with the foils, because we didn't really thought that foils were meant to leave the water. But from the very first moment we took off, we explored a new potential. It really took off to new spaces, to new dimensions. And then literally on the same day on the landings, we realized all our masts, aluminium masts back then, were bent to S, broken boxes, broken wings. It got quickly to a very expensive new passion. But we made it happen, and over the time it evolved a lot, and it's still ongoing. There's yet so much to discover.
Amazing. I mean, there's really nothing to add about that. Thank you so much for doing so much for the sport. I have one last question. Would you say that Foilstyle is a family thing?
Foil styling, or let's say windsurfing in general, it's a community thing. We're all sharing the same passion for being outdoor, playing in the elements. So absolutely. For us too, we're both young family fathers. I can tell it's challenging to actually combine family and water sports. And if you get the more time on the water, and that's what foiling is so great about it, you can go in less good, less prime conditions, and so you can basically get more on the water, and that's why I love foiling from that perspective. Guess the same for you.
Well, I can only agree. It's as a dad, as a person who studied lately, who has been working a lot, I have many passions. As a dad with 2 kids, I have the ability to go on the water every week, have 2 very good sessions at least. I mean, back in the days, for most people, back in the days, once you have kids, once you work a lot, you don't get these opportunities to go freestyling. So I see a big chance for the windsurf community in the future to have more possibilities to go on the water, try new things, learn, improve. Yeah. That's what foiling makes possible.
I mean, guys, thank you so much. I could go on forever now because it's so nice chit-chatting with you about Foilstyle, and it's just, it touches me, you know. So, yeah, I said thank you again, and we can't wait to see you on the water during the next days. And said that, thank you so much, and back to you to the studio.
Great to hear there from the Muller brothers. As Bao said, it's not just a family thing, it's a community thing. I think that can be chopped, that can be put out on social media. If a quote comes from this event, that's the one. Because I think it's true, and it's so nice watching Bao and Jack, you know, that he brings his kids to the events and things. And of course, not everyone can do that, but like what they were saying, by having the foiling and by getting into that, not only through the foil freestyle can you showcase that you can also keep foiling interesting. It's not just about cruising up and down, because eventually we do get bored of that. You know, it is about, you can start doing tricks and you can learn more maneuvers and you can keep that progression going whilst you're also still trying to maximize the other aspects of life, whether that's having a family, a career, anything like that. So it's so nice to see Bao and Jack representing that, and even some of the other riders as well on the tour. So yeah, it's really great to see. And on the other side of that, Greta is also running around, and she's found someone else. So we're going to hand over to Greta, who is down there with Mr. Yentl Cares.
Yentl, you have been the very first Foilstyle champion back in 2023 in Vieste. That was incredible. How did you witness the development of Foilstyle during the past 3 years?
I mean, first of all, being the first one to win that time, it doesn't say so much because everything was so new, nobody know what to expect it. It was really cool, but it has evolved so much. Bals Muller is the pioneer of it. He has been pushing like crazy on it. It just brings freestyle to another level. Before we will be sitting on the beach when it was light wind, and now actually we go in light wind even bigger than a normal freestyle almost, so it's super cool.
And why do you believe is Foilstyle so special, or what do you really like about it?
I just love to be on the water, and the foil just makes me being more in the water. As I said already, normally we will be waiting for wind or trying to pump around, not really having too much fun when it's light. And now we go big and just have a lot of fun on the water. More time on the water is always better.
That's for sure. And if someone would like to go into Foilstyle, starting with it, do you have like 3 tips, 3 advices that you would consider to give them?
Yeah, just try it and have fun. Don't never let the boom go, so you stay far away from the foil and you're safe. Some moves are even easier on the foil than in normal freestyle, so it's gonna be fun.
Thank you so much, Jendel, and all the best.
Thank you very much.
Greta's back.
Yes, I am back.
So nice to hear some of those insights from the Muller brothers, Bowes and Jack, and also Jendel. I think they give kind of differing opinions, but you know, obviously Bowes and Jack talking a bit more about the family side of things, and then Jendel there, like, he's just the most humble world champion ever, isn't he?
That's without doubt. And I think what is also very nice about this community, they're all so different personalities, characters, but we're all unified by the passion for wind and water, for the elements, and this is something so unique, you know. And then having all these different perspectives, as you say, family, then more, let's say, more focused maybe, and just different sides to it, that makes it very, very exciting to me.
I think so, yeah, because the last thing you want is, you know, all athletes just being a carbon copy of each other. And in some other sports, and sometimes even within our sport and things, you kind of see that, and everyone tries to copy each other. But I think freestyle, it's within the name, isn't it?
Exactly.
You know, it's all about you know, being authentic and being who you are. And again, I know that sounds corny, but it is kind of true, and it's something that you see here. All the riders look a bit different, and you know, everyone behaves slightly differently and does their own thing. But as you said, we're all kind of unified by our love of that one thing.
Yes.
And that one thing, as you said, is wind. So let's take a little look at the weather forecast for the upcoming days.
Okay, so actually, as we already mentioned earlier, it's day number 2 here at the GVA Wind Festival. It's first day. Today, we've been waiting for the wind. It looked very promising, but unfortunately, it was quite foggy and cloudy. So, as most European lakes, the Bise Noire winds, they work actually with sun, and then the thermic can only come up. And unfortunately, we've been waiting and we tried everything we could, but it just didn't happen. But nevertheless, it's looking more promising for tomorrow. So with a little bit of luck, then tomorrow the Bise Noire winds will manage to come through, and then actually it's looking even better for Saturday and Sunday. Well, I say even better for the tow-in then, not because we have no winds, but towards the weekend we're moving to the tow-in eliminations, actually the semis, the quarters, and the big final on Sunday. And for the tow-in, we actually don't want any wind. So the forecast is definitely in our favor for that. But it's looking sunny, it's looking warm. So if you're around, guys, make sure to pass by at the tropical corner, because this is a setup like not many in Europe, or let's say around the world. You have this really nice, let's say bar, cafe. People can chill there. You have the tow-in competition straight in front of you, like literally the riders are 4 meters in front of you. So make sure to pass by, because it's going to be epic.
Yeah, absolutely. So tomorrow, hopefully we'll get the Foilstyle up and going during the day. And then as we progress towards late afternoon, early evening, we'll be starting the tow-in show, the qualification rounds. And then, as you said, Greta, that'll lead us through into the semis and then into the finals on Sunday. And we're kind of lucky. It's looking like the wind is actually getting less, and it's going to be absolutely perfect for us to be able to run.
I mean, it's crazy. We always hear praying for wind, but then actually
never think it would.
The weekend, we need no wind.
Yeah, it's funny hearing Tigo in the highlights from yesterday being like, perfect conditions, no wind and glassy water. You'd never usually hear a windsurfer saying that. But as Greta said, make sure that you, if you are around in Geneva, come down and say hi. But if not, stay tuned on Instagram at Freestyle Pro Tour. Stay tuned for the live streams coming up over the next few days, and join us for some more sick action.
Ciao!